Hello everyone, my name is Kenton Kivestu. I'm an ex-BCG consultant, an ex-Googler, and the founder of RocketBlocks, which is an online platform that helps candidates prepare for interviews. In today's RocketBlocks Primer, we're going to talk about a really cool new group, which is called McKinsey Digital. So this is a brand new group at McKinsey & Company that's existed for a handful of years, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what exactly is this group, how is it distinct from the rest of McKinsey, what type of work do they do, and why did McKinsey feel the need and the imperative to launch a new group like this? So let's go ahead and dive in. So what exactly is McKinsey Digital? Well, it's a distinct group within McKinsey & Company that's focused on meeting the digital needs of their clients. So whether it's going through a digital transformation for a legacy company that hasn't traditionally used a lot of technology, or maybe it's the idea of helping a company kind of build, launch, and iterate on a new app. Whatever those digital needs are, this group is designed to serve them. And that's pretty distinct and different from the traditional McKinsey & Co. Industry practices. So if you think about an industry practice focused on the aerospace industry or on the retail industry or on the technology industry itself, that's a very different kind of setup. The McKinsey Digital Group is a horizontal that's going to cut across all of those different types of groups. So that's the first thing to understand. Now, you might be thinking, well, McKinsey does have kind of business function horizontals like marketing and sales and operations. And in that way, McKinsey Digital is very similar to that as well. It is horizontally cutting across a bunch of different industry verticals as well. However, as we get in and talk about the work that McKinsey Digital is doing, you're going to see that there's a third aspect to it, which makes McKinsey Digital a little bit unique. The work they're doing is more of an implementation nature and helping companies really get their digital house in order, so to speak. So let's move on to the next section and talk about the work that McKinsey Digital actually does. Now let's focus on the type of work that McKinsey Digital does. And let's start by thinking about a traditional McKinsey case focused on the retail industry. Maybe they're working with a legacy retailer that's really struggling to adapt to the modern environment. And maybe out of that McKinsey engagement case, the recommendations are something like, first, the retailer needs to take all of the great kind of interactions and information they're learning about their customers in their physical stores, in their brick and mortar footprint, and really record and understand those and use those to drive and deepen the relationship with customers in the digital space. Maybe it's through emailing special offers or SMS updates about new product releases, special showcases they do for them, etc. So basically, the first recommendation is to deepen the information, deepen their relationship in the digital space based off the information they gather in the physical space. And the second recommendation is the company needs to really just up-level their mobile shopping experience. Their current app is just outdated, a little bit buggy, and really doesn't deliver the premium experience that their customers get in store and really enjoy. So those are the two recommendations. Traditionally, if you think back 5 or 10 years ago, that's where McKinsey's work would have ended. They've done the analysis, they've analyzed the trends, looked at everything, run the numbers, and come up with those two particular recommendations in this case. But in this new world with a group like McKinsey Digital, that's where a group like this can step in and actually help deliver on those recommendations. So for example, McKinsey Digital has data scientists, engineers, designers, product managers on staff, and they can actually help a retail company in this case build the technology, the infrastructure to deliver on those two recommendations that the initial consulting team recommended. So as you can see, this is obviously a very different type of work. It's a different type of value proposition and a different type of offering that McKinsey Digital is bringing to the table than the traditional McKinsey & Co. consulting teams. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense from the client's perspective, and as we're going to talk about in the next section, I think this makes a lot of sense from McKinsey's perspective as well. But that's the type of work that McKinsey Digital is doing. They're actually doing digital technology implementation work on behalf of their clients. Lastly, let's talk about why McKinsey is building this practice up. Why are they focusing on something like McKinsey Digital at this time? I think there's really two main reasons. And the first reason is because there is a ton of demand from their clients from it. If you think about McKinsey's past, They have built a business on helping their clients with their most pressing needs. And in many cases, especially in the past, those needs were figuring out the right business strategy and the right path forward given that company's unique situation. Increasingly, there is a new need as well that their clients have, which is the world has changed dramatically. It is much more tech-enabled, digital focused. There's software everywhere. As Mark Andreessen has said, software is eating the world. And so as a result, they now have not only need to make sure they have the right strategy, they need desperately to make sure that they are in the right shape to continue to survive in a real technology-driven world. And so that need is a pressing need of their clients. And I think McKinsey sees that they have a way to address that with something like McKinsey Digital. So that's the first reason. The second reason is if you think about what we just talked about in that first reason, that means if there's many clients with a big pressing need, there's probably a large market demand there as well. So this is a big and growing market that McKinsey and quite frankly, a lot of the other consulting firms are going to be really, really interested in. All of these firms are interested in kind of growing, evolving their own businesses and staying relevant as well. And so for that reason, it presents a really attractive opportunity from a financial standpoint as well for McKinsey to continue growing their business and to deepen their relationships with the clients and kind of make themselves indispensable. So from that standpoint, I think it really makes sense for McKinsey to actually build out McKinsey Digital and keep pursuing this avenue. One final thought to keep in mind. McKinsey Digital is a really interesting departure from what McKinsey has traditionally done. If you think about it, they've always been known as a strategy consulting firm that's really focused on giving strategic recommendations, but having kind of arm's length from the actual operation and implementation of the business. So not only is McKinsey wading into a new area where they're focused on digital and technological problems as well, but in a really interesting way, their business is evolving to do much more implementation work than it really ever has in the past. So it's an exciting thing to see, and it's happening across the industry as well, with folks like BCG launching BCG Digital Ventures, which is a very, very similar group, and we talked about that as well in a prior video. I'll put the link down in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching. We have a ton of great videos coming out on the interview process and the consulting industry on a weekly basis. So if you haven't subscribed yet already, please do so. There's a big red button below. We'd love to have you. And thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.